Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a video that I have actually had a few requests for. I've got a few messages on Instagram from girls who are looking to start an Accutane journey and, ask me how my journey was, if I would recommend it to other people, how it went for me, if it worked for me, what were my side effects. So if you guys are interested in hearing about my Accutane journey and hearing about everything that I experienced while being on the drug, then this is definitely the video for you. If you aren't interested, then I'm sorry. If there are other kinds of videos that you want to see, I would be happy to film them for you. Just please be sure to leave a comment down below and I will make content for everybody. Whatever anyone wants to see, I will make. I am open to absolutely everything. Today's video is going to be about my Accutane journey. I did write down a few things that I wanted to make sure that I went over with you guys about Accutane, just so that you're fully aware of everything that you could experience while being on this drug. So I think it's important for me to discuss what Accutane actually is. So Accutane is essentially just an overdose of vitamin A. So Accutane is called, the proper name for it is isotretinoin. It is used to treat severe acne. And I am not talking about a few pimples here and there on your face. I'm talking about severe acne that you have tried absolutely everything else to get rid of it, like topical creams, pills, whether it be drinking lots of water, changing your diet, working out more, absolutely everything, and nothing is working. Accutane is the last choice to getting rid of and curing severe acne. My history about acne, really quick. I started to get acne around grade 7, and now I was the only one out of the girls in my class that started to get pimples in that grade. A lot of the boys had pimples. I didn't care about that though, because I was like the only girl with them. I was embarrassed. I was really insecure about it. They caused me anxiety. I would come home every day and be like, Mom, like, why do I have all these pimples on my face and nobody else does? My best friend in elementary school, her name was Katrina Leach. She was the most, maybe I shouldn't have said her last name. I don't think she cares. Anyways, her name was Katrina. She was a beautiful Greek, just goddess. Perfect hair, perfect skin, perfect everything. For me to see that her face was so perfect and like so free of pimples, and mine had all these pimples and like red marks everywhere, I was so insecure, and it really took a toll on how I felt being out in public. Or not being out in public, but at that time just being out at school and getting made fun of at recess because I had dots on my face and like all that crap. So, and I had braces. So like it was really just not a good year for me. It was a rough one. Throughout grade 8 it was okay. I mean, I still had dots everywhere, but that's when I was getting my period and like starting to actually become a woman. So all of this stuff was like normal and like okay at that point. I made it through high school with no issues of pimples or acne. I mean, I would break out every now and then when I got my period, but it was nothing like drastic. Like I didn't have severe acne at all by any means. I made it through my first year of college with no pimples. Little breakouts here and there when I got my period or when I was stressed or when I ate too much junk food, stuff like that. But my problems actually really started in August of 2017. So in August, I went away. No, that's a lie. That's a fat ass lie. No, it's not. August 2017 is when I got my first breakout. So I had a few pimples right here, and they weren't going away, and I had a couple on my chin too, and it didn't matter what I did, they were very persistent. They would not go away. I went to the dermatologist. He gave me creams, he gave me pills, he gave me a bunch of stuff to try out for my pimples. None of it worked. So I at that point was very low on myself. I would cancel plans with my friends. I would avoid going out to functions. I would avoid going out and doing things with boys because I was like just too. At that time, Ian and I were just starting to talk, and I mean, my face was okay, but it wasn't acceptable for me. Like, I did not feel comfortable going out in public and being around Ian and having this new guy that I'm talking to, who I really liked, see me with all these pimples on my face and whatever. So it actually really didn't start to get really bad until about October, which is when him and I became official. So at that point, he already knew what I looked like with and without acne, and he thinks I look the same. Like, he's like, you are beautiful no matter what. And I want you guys to know that acne is normal, and acne does affect everybody. And if you have struggled from severe acne, I can totally understand that it makes you feel like you are below everyone. It makes you feel like you aren't good enough. It makes you feel like you're ugly. It makes you insecure. You don't want to leave your room. You don't want to do anything. I didn't post pictures on social media for months when I was going through that, because I'm like, why would I want to post pictures of myself on the internet with acne all over my face? I've done a lot of growing since then, and I realized that I wish I would have posted pictures because then I could have seen my progress. And not that I wasn't tracking my progress throughout my Accutane journey, because I was, but I just wish that I was more open about it and not so embarrassed by it, because if I was more open about it from the beginning, I feel like I could have handled that situation and that whole experience a lot better. But November rolls around. It's about November, and here I decided that I was going to start Accutane. And my best friend went on Accutane, and my brother actually did Accutane when he was in elementary school, because he went through I think he just kind of honestly grew up a lot faster than his friends, and like his hormones were just kind of booming, and he went through puberty a lot earlier, so he had to go on Accutane actually when he was going into high school, so the end of grade 8. I watched him go through it, and I watched all the side effects, and I watched what it did for his skin, and I did all my research. I talked with my best friend, I talked with my brother, my boyfriend actually did Accutane as well for a little bit, so I talked with all of my friends who had experienced Accutane. They gave me the pros and the cons. They said, make sure you do your research, be completely sure. This is an extremely hard drug to take if you don't need to take it, so just make sure that you do your research and you know everything about it and everything that could possibly come out of it before you agree to starting it. I'll quickly just state some of the side effects now. Some of the side effects for Accutane, let me just tell you, I wrote them all down. Dry skin, itching skin, rashes, dry nose, nosebleed, cracks in the corners of your mouth and chapped lips, joint pain and back pain, depressive mood swings, nervousness, sleep problems, crying spells, hearing problems, hearing loss, stomach pains, seizures and convulsions, loss of appetite, and rectal bleeding. Those are the more severe side effects. Accutane November 7th. I was started on 40 milligrams a day of isotretinoin, and I was doing that. I was fine. Everything was great for the first month. Let me tell you, acne does get worse when you first start Accutane. If you're thinking that you're going to start it and your pimples are just going to start disappearing, you're wrong. I'm sorry. It does get way worse at first. So the first 2 months on Accutane, first 2 to 3 months on Accutane, your skin is going to be 10 times worse than it was when you first started. That is only because it is doing its job. It is pushing essentially everything to the surface of your skin. That way it can extract everything that's in there, all the gunk and everything like that. And what it does is it shrinks your oil glands, so it produces less sweat and less oil, therefore less acne. So the first 2 months my face was an absolute disaster. If I can find a picture, I will be sure to insert it here. I do have a couple pictures and videos of me in my first few months of Accutane. Let me tell you, it was not a pretty sight. I was very insecure, very insecure, didn't leave my house, nothing. I started to experience severe side effects on about my 3.5 to 4 months is when I started to experience my side effects. I noticed that I was very irritable. I had very little patience with everyone around me. I isolated myself from everybody. I did go through depressive mood swings and depressive states where I would just sit in my room and cry and feel sorry for myself for hours of the day. Sorry. It was a difficult experience for me, but looking back at it, I don't regret doing it. I wouldn't do it again. Because I just don't think it's worth the side effects that I experienced personally. More side effects I experienced were joint pain. My bones ached a lot. I couldn't bend and move the way I used to before doing it. I would get nosebleeds all the time. My skin was very dry. My lips were cracked. My hands were dry. I got rashes all over my body. When I started it, I thought I would just be like everyone else and have minor side effects, dry lips, cracked corners, everything like that, dry skin. I actually experienced way more than that, and yeah, it made me feel sick. I lost my appetite. I didn't eat. I think I lost about 10 pounds while being on Accutane, and it wasn't healthy weight loss. It was weight loss because I wasn't eating properly, and it was actually very hard for me to kind of get back into the normal swing of things. My bathroom routines were all off. I either was extremely constipated or I had diarrhea. There was no in between. I know this is a little bit too much information, but I'm being honest with you. It was either I couldn't go or I couldn't stop going, and it would fluctuate, and it was never ever steady. With the rectal bleeding, I know this is absolutely disgusting, but when I was on vacation in Myrtle Beach with my family, I was still taking Accutane. And I had just finished my period before going on to the vacation, and so I'm in the bathroom, I do my business, I go, I wipe, and there's blood. So I start having a panic attack because I'm like, why is there blood coming out of my bum? This is so much information, but this is legit the realest thing I'm ever gonna say on my channel. At that point, that's when I decided to stop taking Accutane. I took myself off of Accutane a month early because it was just too much for my body. I could not do it anymore. It was too much on my mind. It was too much on my body. My body felt like shit constantly. I felt so gross all the time. I mean, my skin does look really, really great now. It does look better now. There's not any pimples or anything like that on my face. My face is very smooth. It's pretty well clear 99.9% of the time. The only times that I do break out is when I get my period. I just want you guys to be 150% honest. Let me say this. I want you to be honest with your dermatologist and be completely open. They are there to help you. Please, please, please do not lie to your dermatologist about your feelings, because I did that. I should not have ever gone on Accutane because before I did experience, I was always an anxious child, but I do suffer from anxiety, and I never told him that, and I swear to God, being on Accutane amplified the anxiety for me. And if you're not completely honest with your dermatologist, you could really, really, really screw up your mental health and your body. It's dangerous. You need to be willing to share your feelings with your dermatologist. They're not going to judge you. They're there to help you. You need to be honest. Sit down. Make sure you tell them if you have any history of mental illnesses or anything like that. You need to tell them your history about everything. Like, you need to be honest and open when starting this process, because it's serious. It's not something that you're just taking to get rid of your pimples. It is a serious, serious drug with very serious side effects, and it is only to be used as a last resort. So if you come to me and you say, oh, I'm gonna go on Accutane, I have a few pimples on my face, I will laugh in your face and say, good luck. Actually, I wouldn't even do that, because it's actually so serious that I wouldn't even say good luck. I would say, no, don't. Like, do not start it. Like, it's a very serious thing, and people don't really realize that. The side effects that I experienced aren't 150% what you're going to experience or what other people on Accutane have experienced. Everything is different for everybody, and not one person is the same. Not one person's experience is the same as another person's experience. And I just want you guys to be absolutely sure and positive about the side effects and everything that you could experience on it before starting it, because it is a very serious thing. There is a website called acne.org, and I will link it down in the description box below. You can go on there and there's a list of side effects. It explains to you what Accutane is, how Accutane works, and stuff like that. So if you guys are looking for more information, this wasn't really an in-depth video. I just kind of wanted to talk about my history, my side effects, and whether or not I would recommend it. Would I recommend Accutane to somebody? Answer is no, I would not. Unless you are 150% positive that this is going to make you feel better and you genuinely believe that this is the last and only option that you have, then yes. But no, I would not recommend it to anybody, only because of my experience. I feel like if I broke out and had a really bad breakout again, I would not do Accutane again, just because it was too much on my body. Way, way too much on my body. It started to affect my friendships, my relationship. It affected everything. So just please be sure of absolutely everything that can come out of Accutane before starting it. If you have any questions or you're feeling uneasy about starting and you want someone to kind of help you through the process, I am always available to give my feedback and kind of how I dealt with things while I was on Accutane, and the products I use. If you guys are interested in seeing products I used while on Accutane, please leave a comment down below or feel free to message me on Instagram, and I would be willing to give you guys an in-depth video of the products that I used while I was on Accutane and why I use them. You'll be spending a lot of money on chapstick and moisturizers. But yeah, that is it for this video, and if anyone, like I said, needs anyone to talk to about Accutane, I'm your girl. Message me on Instagram. Leave a comment down below, message me on Facebook, whatever. I am here to help. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. It was a little bit of a difficult one for me to talk about, just because I haven't been so open about this process and experience in a really long time. I did it in April and it is now August. So, I mean, it's been a long time, but I do remember the feelings it made me feel, and I remember how I dealt with them, and I remember what I used, and I remember the entire experience. So if anyone is needing a friendly helping hand to kind of help them through the experience or give them like a push on whether or not they should begin Accutane, please feel free to message me. Everybody's story is different. To be able to share my life with you guys and kind of put topics out there that people don't often talk about, because I feel like it's important to talk about these things. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.